Mm. Hi, everyone. Hi, welcome. Welcome, Sophia. Welcome, Justice. Welcome, Mary Mary. Welcome, I Am Gift. I'm seeing you all. Welcome to Nexi Concepts Limited Live. Gabs Anyahu, we can see you. Welcome. Tomi Wo, Oluyemi, welcome to the live. As we all know, it's a culture in Nexi Concept Limited for us to do our live every Wednesday by 12 noon. Please do well to always tune in to learn about amazing opportunities that are available in the study abroad industry, and also updates to get updates on immigration policy changes, just as we had last week with Canada. Kayla Majek, welcome. Charles, welcome to the live. I'm happy to see you all. Let's wait a few minutes for others to join. Nelson Debbie, welcome to the live. Ebon, I can see you. Welcome to the live. You're all welcome. See, baby, welcome to the live. Okay. Okay, so as a culture, like I mentioned earlier, we do our lives every Wednesday. Please make sure you share and then inform people, inform your friends, families, neighbors to join the live, our live every Wednesday, because we always bring in important information about studying abroad. So for today, as a means of introduction, my name is Alima. Okay, and then I'm here to give us information about Europe. Okay, and the reason why we are discussing about Europe today is as a result of um, recent happenings in Canada and UK. Okay, so we all understand the recent immigration policy changes in Canada concerning undergraduate program and postgraduate program and diploma that requires attestation. We also know about for UK that we can go with dependents. So those markets are there. Australia market is there, Ireland market is there, USA market is there. But there are others opportunities in the Europe that have not been exploited yet. That have not been explored yet, sorry. Okay, and that is why I'm here to give information on that. Hi, Magical Paul, welcome. Okay, so that's what we'll be discussing today about the affordable opportunities that are available in Europe for 2024 intake. Applications are already ongoing, so it is important you reach out to us either via our DMs, and you'll be connected to a counselor that is well furnished with information concerning Europe schools, okay, on any destinations you're interested in. Okay. Also, please do well to put in your questions, type out your questions, okay, that you may have on the live so I can attend to them. So I can attend to them later. Sorry. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, so I can attend to them later. Okay, so your questions are all welcome concerning any country in Europe you're interested in. So now the reason why should you study in Europe? What should come to your mind when you're studying in Europe? What should you expect when you are interested in studying in Europe? These are what we are here to discuss today. Okay, so one of them is that Europe schools are have globally ranked universities in the world. Okay, so we are aware that there are schools that are globally ranked, that are highly globally ranked in the USA, in Australia, in Canada, and UK. But that doesn't exempt Europe schools. There are a lot of Europe schools that are on the top 100 schools in the world that we also need to look out for. okay, that we also need to look out for when we are applying to schools in Europe. We are partnered with some of these schools, and we are your shop plug when it comes to putting an application for them. Okay, so there are universities that are widely recognized, and they give you credible certificate that you can use anywhere in the world. Okay, so just reach out to us, and then we will put in the application to these schools. You can use them for anything, for study, for work, okay, for progressions, for pathways, anything you're using it, the certificate for, it is widely recognized and can be used for this. Okay, and these programs, I know there is a popular misconception that if you do not know a language, especially for France, if you don't know a language like knowing how to speak French, you can't study in France. And that's not true. There are a lot of Europe schools that you can study in English. Okay, there are a lot of programs you can study in English in Europe schools that are available for students to partake in Europe, yes. Okay, and also these programs are very, very affordable. They are affordable within the range of, say, from €1,000 to €4,000. These schools are available, and initial deposits are also very less for you to um, partake in. Okay, so these programs are always available. Cheap and affordable programs are always available for students to enroll in. So just reach out to us, and then we would enroll you in any of these schools. Affordable tuition fee, affordable cost of living. Cost of living in most of the European schools or European countries are between 600 to €1,000, which comprises of transportation, accommodation, feeding, and all. Are encompassed in the 700 to €1,000 for living expenses for most of these European schools. And this makes your budget way lesser compared to other countries you're interested in applying for. Okay. Also, there is also a pathway to residency. Once you're done studying for a 1-year program, a 2-year program, a 3-year program, that's for bachelor's program, because master's program are between 1 to 2 years. Okay, so once you're done with that, there is always a post-study stay in these countries. So most of them could range from 9 months to 2 years. Okay, so for 9 months is in Malta. For 1 year, you can get that in France. There are also other countries that extend theirs to 2 years. And once you're done, you continue your stay to work or either study in the country, and then that will lead you to a pathway in the respective European countries. Okay, so there is always an option for residency in these countries. Also, another important fact that I know is on most people's mind on this life is the access to Schengen countries. We all understand that once you're in one of these countries that is among the Schengen countries, you have access to all the 28 countries. Okay, this gives you access. So once you're in France, you can easily move to, say, Poland. You can move to Netherlands. These are all countries in the Schengen regions that you can freely move into. And that's one of the advantage of also coming through us, so that we can recommend these schools for you that are among, or these schools and countries that are among the Schengen countries, and put an application for you. All right. Okay. So there's also an option for you to work. Sorry, I'm reading from the, but I'm trying to pick up my points so that we will not miss anyone that I'm going to talk about on this live. Okay, so there's also an option for you to work and study. Most people feel that because they are studying in a country that is not in English, most people feel that they won't get a job. But that is not true. That is also a misconception. For instance, I'll still be making reference to France. Once you're studying in France, you have the option to work. And there are a lot of companies in these countries that are looking for people that can speak English, okay? That can speak English to fill in for their course, their customer support work program. There are a lot of there are a lot of jobs that you can apply for that requires you to, as a English speaking person, to work in. There are a lot of companies that are willing to employ you to work as an English speaking person, okay, in these countries. Okay, and also there is also a case of affordable accommodation. Accommodation in most of these European schools are between, say, 600 to 900 per month. There's also an option of shared apartment. There's also an option if you have secondary school, like you're sending your minor, people below age 17 years. There's also an option for guidance to stay with a family. Those options are available. and will be readily communicated to you once the time comes, or once you put in an application or you reach out to any of our counselor. Okay. Now, there are key things I would love us to identify when we are putting in application to Europe. Okay. So for Europe schools, for Europe colleges, for Europe universities, they require that you provide. There are some, actually, I'll list them out. There are some schools that require you provide legalization and authentication of documents. Okay. This usually happens. Some usually happen after you've gotten your offer. Others could be before you get your offer. Others could be before you apply for your visa. You need to provide that, a legalized document. And then once you're coming to us, we are going to show you the process on how to do this. Okay. So there are countries that require legalization. I'm going to mention that later on during the live so that you understand while making researches before you also come to us. However, if you still come to us, we'll give you all of that information. Also, there are countries that require block accounts. Block accounts in the sense that you are going to create an account in their respective countries. We are looking at Germany, we're looking at Netherlands. So this country requires you provide a block account to impute with a sum of amounts, which could include the living expenses. Some could include only the living expenses, while some could include the living expenses plus the balance of your tuition fee. Okay, is required in the block account. So you're opening an account in this respective country, inputting the money there. Then once you've arrived the country, like say Germany or Netherlands, the money will be given to you on a monthly basis. Okay, so we need to note that when we are applying to schools in Europe. Okay, and there's also an option of sponsorship. Sponsorship in the sense that someone can sponsor you, like your parents, your siblings, your relative can sponsor you and then provide a sponsorship letter to study in Europe. Individually, if you're willing to sponsor yourself, of course, you provide a bank statement. Majority of them would ask you for a 3 month bank statement. Majority of them is for 3 months. Okay, provide a bank statement, and we all know the procedures of bank statements. No lump sum. It has to be up to date. It has to be a running account. Okay, that is if you're providing a bank statement for yourself. Then if you're providing a sponsorship, the sponsor has to provide a sponsorship letter to prove, and also to be able to prove the relationship both of you have for him or her to be your sponsor. So these are all of the key things you need to note in the financial aspect when it comes to your visa stage. But it's something you need to know from now so you can prepare for them for later before the application starts. Okay, so another important part is credit transfer. Okay, so for European schools, for European countries, most of the schools here require or give access to credit transfer. So for instance, you're a student studying bachelor's in Nigeria, you're in your 200 level, and you want to transfer to, say, France. I'll still be making reference to France. Okay, so say you're transferring to France and you're in your 200 level, all you need to do is provide your transcripts and then for the 100 and 200 level, and then send it to us. We'll process the application for you and transfer you to a 300 level English teaching school in France. English taught program in France. Okay, so that option is available. So for people that are in their 100 level and they don't want to stay back in Nigeria, they're tired of staying in Nigeria, please reach out to us and then we'll process this application for you. And but knowing an additional foreign language gives you a point. It can be it can be of advantage to you in several ways. Okay, for looking for international jobs, yes, it helps you. For residency, it helps you. There are a whole lot of advantage to learning an additional language. Okay, so if you are in France, of course, while you're studying in your English program, during that process, you start learning how to speak the language. If you're in Poland, you learn Polish. If you're in Sweden, you learn Swedish. Okay, so all of these countries, while you're there, of course, you're learning the language slowly. You're learning the language, and then while you continue your stay after your 1 or 2 year program, or your post-study work permit is ongoing, you continue learning the program, and this is an added advantage to you. Okay, and then there are a lot of other key things to note are why people study in Europe, which will be explained later on at the ending part of this webinar. Okay, so I want to actually discuss about the general documents that is required when you are studying or when you are to study in France. There's actually a slight difference in required documents for UK, USA, Canada, Australia compared to Europe. I will be listing them shortly. So one of them is your certificate, the first degree certificates. This could be your BSc. There are some countries that accept HND. Please note, it's not all countries. There are some countries that accept HND, then your WAEC, your NECO, and NAPTEC. For France accept NAPTEC. Okay, so there are also other countries that accept WAEC and NECO and HND. So just reach out to us and we'll let you know all of that. Okay, also your transcript, please ensure that your transcript is either signed or stamped. Okay, and it's not a student copy. Your transcript is signed or stamped when sending to us for processing your application to any of these European countries. Another one is a passport ID. That's a photograph. Okay, most of the schools require you provide a passport ID photograph. Okay, so a photo ID, okay, with a white background. Okay, this is used to identify you and also to match with the picture you have on your picture you have on your passport. Okay, for identification purpose, they'll require a photo ID of you. The specification is to provide a white background photo ID. Okay, that is recognized. Another part is your international passport. We all know that international passport you're presenting should have an extra 6 months or should last for the duration of your course or the course you're about to study. Next part is your SOPs and motivation letter. The SOPs should be in line with the course you're studying and should also outline the reason why you are choosing that particular country. Okay, so for instance, say you're applying to study in France, you need to provide an SOP that touches France, why you're about to study in France, why you're interested in learning an additional language. Okay, what advantage will it do for you? What would you do when you're coming back to Nigeria with the knowledge you've gotten from France? Okay, and the reason why you're going for the course, how does the course relate to your previous academic background or previous professional background? All of these things should be captured in your SOPs, okay, when submitting them to us. Then for married women, married women that are applying to study in Europe, we're looking at providing your marriage certificate or proof of name change affidavit. Okay, so you need to provide this for them during the application process. And the marriage certificate should carry the new name you're answering, that's your husband's name, and then every other information that is required. Another part is, another important document is going to be your recommendation letters. So your recommendation letter is from two parts, academic and professional. So academic reference letter would be from someone that is above you. Sorry, academic reference letter is from someone that has taught you or known you in school to a certain level of capacity. So now your lecturer can actually reference you for an academic reference. Your dean, head of department can reference you when you're provided, and this is going to be an acceptable reference. Also note that this reference should have the school's letterhead, okay, and information concerning the referees. This also importantly, this reference letter has to be stamped. Has to be stamped or signed, okay, for it to be accepted. If not, it will be bounced back, and this will actually take the process of the application processing very long. Okay, we are looking at putting an application and then getting an offer on time. So if these are not correct on time, it's going to take a whole lot of process back and forth and increase the processing time. Then for the professional reference, so people that are going to reference you on the professional level should be people higher than you, not someone lower than you. Okay. Please also remember that it has to be letter-headed, signed. It has to be letter-headed, signed, and stamped. The person should explain in what capacity both of you have worked and in what capacity they are referencing you. Okay. Then also, most importantly, in most cases, I know it's also applicable to other countries in USA, Canada, UK, and all, is to provide a WAEC scratch card or a NECO pin. So this is used to identify the authenticity of our certificates. Okay, so this is always required. So once you're putting an application to Europe, we would require this from you. Okay, so it will not be as a new thing when you reach out to one of our counselors and we ask you to provide a scratch card or a NECO token. Okay, so we are done with the recommendation letter. Please do well to send in your questions. I'm going to attend to them later on. Please send in all the questions you have and I'll respond to them. Okay. So I'm seeing a question here. What is the minimum fee deposit for Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia? So I'm going to respond to this towards the end of the webinar. Okay, so I'm going to respond to this, please. Okay, so now we are going to the next part of this, which is available courses in Europe. So one thing about Europe I've noticed is that they have unique courses that are really targeting your professional background. So for instance, now I'm a filmmaker. Okay, you get a particular course that goes directly, like a master's program in cinematography or filmmaking. So those are available in France. They actually target particular courses that people are interested in that really relates to their professional background. So I'm going to be listing some of the courses here. Okay, some of them are, amongst others, we have a lot of management courses, which includes operations and strategic management courses, operations management courses, hospitality management courses, financial management courses. We have digital marketing courses, we have e-commerce, energy and sustainability management courses. We have finance management courses, finance and investment management courses. We have communication management courses. We have art and cultural management courses, fashion. Yeah. So those of you that are interested in going for fashion, into the fashion industry, or you need a certificate in fashion, you can send a DM to us and we would enroll you or apply for a school that can give you a master's program in fashion. That is also available. So there are also culinary arts, bakery, and a lot of programs that you can apply for in Europe. Okay, there's aerospace management. Apart from the management courses, there are also science courses. There is aerospace management. There is business intelligence, cinematography. There is filmmaking, computer science and software engineering are also available. There is psychology, aesthetics. There's also few healthcare program. Now the reason for this is because majority of the health program requires you apply directly. So it requires you have a knowledge of their language. But there are pre-programs you can apply for that can take you into health. So once you reach out to any of our counselors, we're going to take you through all of that and give you further information on how to apply for health courses. But majority of the courses that are available are management and science courses. Okay, we have virtual merchandises, product designs, a lot of unique courses that are not available in other countries. So just reach out to us with any course you're interested in and we would give recommendation on the course. We'll give you recommendation on the courses to apply to. Okay, so I'll be talking about specific countries now. So moving first to France, I was actually making reference to France while having this conversation. There are a lot of courses in France. Another one I want to pick out for indicate during this live is going for a foundation program in French. Yes, a 1-year foundation program in French is available, and you can apply directly from Nigeria. Okay, so applying for a 1-year program in French gives you a certificate in French for you to apply for other programs, public schools in France with that certificate. Okay, so those programs are available. Just reach out to us and then we would send you or let you know the procedures on how to apply for them. Okay, so there are key things to note when you're applying to study in France. The first thing is the affordable tuition fee and the flexible payment plan. So for France, we have a tuition range of 7,000 to We have a tuition range of 7,000 to 12,000 euro. And the good thing is that the initial deposit for these schools are between 3,000 to 3,500. Okay, so uh, that brings us to the last point I mentioned, why people want to study in Europe. Is affordable tuition fee and affordable living expenses that is available for these schools. Okay, so a tuition fee of 7,000 to 12,000 euro is actually very affordable. Okay, and initial deposit is 3,000 to 3,500. Also, once you have arrived France, there is an installment payment, up to 6 installment payments for this, for the remaining balance of your tuition fee. Okay, so up to 6 installment plan. Also, once you're done, you get a 1 year post-study work permit, and the PR is between 3 to 5 years. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. Also, when applying to France, there is no need for a GRE or GMAT. Okay. At most, what you require to provide is an MOI, which is a medium of instruction from your school, indicating that the program you're taught is your certificate you have was taught to you in English. Okay. The intakes that are available currently, we are applying for September intake. So if you're interested in studying in France for September intake, please reach out to us and then we'll put in the application for you. There is an option to study in English only courses. There's an option to do a sandwich course, that is to study in English and in French. There's also an option to only study in French for people that already have, that are already conversant, or they already understand the French language, can actually apply to study in their program in French. But if you don't, if you want to mix both of them, yes, the option is there for you to study in both French and in English. And if you do not understand at all, please do not worry. The option is there for you to study your program entirely in English. Okay, so that option is there. There are also job opportunities, and then, like I mentioned earlier, credit transfer. Now, for once you put an application with us, they the turnaround time for this application, for us to process the application for you, is between 3 days for you to get your offer, 3 days to 2 weeks. Okay, so once we put in an application for you, we are pursuing the offer for you to make for you, we are pursuing the admission or monitoring the admission for you to get an offer on time. Okay, and also this applies to visa too. Once you put in our visa, we are looking at 2 to 4 weeks for you to get your visa approval. Okay, when you go through next day. Reason because we have direct partnership with these schools that would ensure faster response, and then also during the visa stage for you to get your visa approved on time. Okay, so we are done with France. If you have any question concerning France, please leave it on the box and we will respond to that. Okay, so the next stage is Malta. Malta country is among the Schengen countries that are among the Schengen regions, countries in the Schengen region, sorry. Okay, and then there is no IELTS or GRE, no form of legalization or authentication of certificate. That also applies to France. Living expenses is 12,000 euro per year. So once you reach out to us, we're going to give information on the tuition fee. The tuition fee range is, I think, between 7, 8, 12 million should be your budget for the course. Okay, should be your budget for the course. Okay, and also the stay back period is 9 months. Please reach out to us if you're interested in studying in Malta. We'll let you know the further information. We'll let you know the schools that are available for the course you're interested in and any other information that is available. Remember that we are still applying for September intake. September intake is open. Send your application. It's best you send your application now for us to process application for you before, rather than waiting till later. Okay, so send the application and we'll process. We also have Germany. English programs are being taught in English, and postgraduate post-study work is 18 months. But you have to do legalization and verification. Do not worry about that. Reach out to us and we'll let you know the process. Okay, tuition fee is between 7,000 for bachelors and 8,000 to batch for 9,000 for masters, down to 12,000. Okay, so whichever course you're interested in, both undergraduate and postgraduate, please reach out to us and then we would process the application for you. Okay, but there are other things. Well, before we even apply to these courses for you, we'll let you know key things you need to look out for. Like for Germany, appointment date for visa physical interview takes a whole lot of process, take whole lot of months before we can even get an appointment date. So these are things you need to watch out for when you're choosing a country to apply for or choosing a country to apply to. Okay. Also, there is no dependence. You can't go with your family. And Germany requires you provide a block account. Like I mentioned earlier, this means you're going to provide or open an account in Germany, inputting the living expenses that is required. And it will be once you've arrived Germany, they're going to send the money back to your account, or they're going to pay you back or give you the money in stipends, that's monthly. Okay, there's also Austria. There is Poland for us to apply to. Tuition fee is for Poland, is between 3,000 to 4,000 euro per year. That's actually very, very cheap. Okay. Okay. So for Poland, you have to look out for the legalization and authentication of certificates. Living expenses is available, 1 year post-study work permit. We have application turnaround time is between 3 days to 2 weeks still. Then for the visa, you're going to communicate that to you. Then for the visa process, the turnaround time for visa for Poland is between 2 weeks to 6 weeks. Okay, please note that this is after all your documents is confirmed and ready to be submitted or submitted. Okay, this is when all your document legalization and all of them is submitted. That is when we can give you this assurance of 2 to 6 weeks for your visa to be out. Okay, so we have Netherlands too. Netherlands requires you provide a block account. Okay, I think I mentioned that earlier still. Spouse are not allowed for Netherlands. Living expenses is around 11 to 12,000 euro. Intake is still applying for September. September intake is open. Okay, please send us your applications. We have Spain, we have Switzerland, we have Italy. Okay, so all of these countries, we have partners with these schools that we can put in your applications. Okay, we have Poland, we have Finland, we have Portugal. Okay, for Finland, it's till next year. Application is closed for now. But for Portugal and the other countries I've mentioned, application is open for September. Please reach out and then we'll process the application for you. For those that are interested in going with their families to any of the Europe countries, there are a few that do not accept family travel. Okay, there are a lot of them, that do not accept family travel. Just a few, like 3 of them that accepts. So the ones that accept family travel is Finland, which is still not open for this year. We have Portugal, and then we have Austria, okay, that accept family. Okay, so if you want information on that, on how to process application with your dependent to any of this country, please reach out to our counselors. Now, countries that require legalization, I'm going to be listing them. That is Austria, we have Poland, we have Germany, we have Belgium, we have Spain, we have Portugal, we have Italy, we have Czech Republic. All of these countries I've just mentioned require you provide legalization on your document. The procedures to do this will be communicated to you by our counselors. Okay. Then the countries that do not require legalization, we have Malta, we have Sweden, we have Luxembourg, we have Netherlands, and we have France. Okay. For countries, people that do not want to go through the procedures or the troubles of legalizing their documents, we can apply to these countries for you. Okay, so far you're interested in them. Okay, so we are going to also let you know the requirements for you to apply or the documents required for legalization of the documents, of your certificates, of your transcript, of your WIEC certificate. All of this will be communicated to you by our counselors. Okay, and then as I was mentioning, if you're coming through NextZ, okay, we putting your application for September can give you some level of assurance we can give you a time frame for when your offer will be out. Okay, so for most of this country, like I mentioned, we'll have between 3 days to 2 weeks for your offer to be out. That is for your admission. Okay, so all what you need to do when sending or once you are reaching out to us for us to process the application for you, is for you to make sure all the documents I mentioned earlier, which I can still reiterate on, are complete, which is your certificate, your transcript, your passport ID, international passport, SOPs, your marriage certificate if you're married, if you're a woman, then recommendation letters. Okay, so make sure all of these documents are ready when you're sending it to us for us to process your application. Okay. Um, Please send in your questions. Please send in your questions. I'm actually going through the list here and I just saw one question. Is that the only person that has question for Europe schools, Europe countries that we have? So I'm going to read out the question. The question is, what is the minimum fee deposit for Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia? Most importantly, how many months proof of fund? Okay, so today's live is about Europe. But I can still respond to this. Okay, so for Ireland school, majority of them require you provide full tuition fee. If not all, you provide less, I think 70% or 60% of the tuition fee for deposit. Okay, tuition fee range is between 14,000 to 18,000 pounds, sorry, euro for Ireland. Okay, then for New Zealand, Australia, this person that is asking XPKC, please send a message to send a DM. Okay, and you'll be referred to a counselor that is going to respond to all of these questions about New Zealand and Australia. But if you have questions about Europe, please send them here and I'll respond to them. Okay, so I'm seeing a question. Do you charge for the application, the school application? Yes, we do. We charge for processing this application. Okay, and then reach out to our counselors and then we'll let you know the fees for this application. Please send in your questions. How long does Ireland application take? Okay, so for Ireland application, if your document is complete, okay, we can process the application for you between 1 week to 3 weeks. 1 week to 3 weeks. Okay. It could be lesser, remember, it could be lesser. We could actually get you an offer within 1 week. But let's just hold on to the 1 week to 3 weeks for for your application to be processed. Okay, another question. Hello, how much do you charge for Austria? Okay, so for the fee we charge is 300,000. Now the 300,000 comprises of the application processing, application fee to one school, and visa processing. Okay, that's 300,000 to process your application to any of the Europe schools that you're interested in that we are partnered with. Are there jobs in Malta and Luxembourg to finance myself and study? Yes, remember I mentioned that there is an option for you to study and work in this country. Okay, so yes, once you get an offer to apply, once you get an offer and arrive at the country, you would apply to jobs, get the job, and then the option is that you're applicable to work 20 hours per week as a student. Do you have MBA programs for France? Yes, we have MBA programs for France, and we have we have generic MBA program and we have specialized MBA program. Okay, we have MBA in a whole lot of courses. We have MBA in digital marketing and the likes. We have a whole lot. Just reach out to us, our counselors, and they'll give you information on that. Do you need a sponsor for Ireland? Sorry. So do you need a sponsor for Ireland? So if you're using a sponsor, like I mentioned, you are going to provide a relationship between you and that sponsor. If you reach out to our counselor, they're going to give you vivid information or clear information on what is required to be provided by you and your sponsors for you to process your visa to Ireland. How about job opportunities in Ireland? So there are a lot of job opportunities in Ireland. I we are talking. There are a lot of job opportunities in Ireland that you can explore. Okay, so there are a lot of tech companies in Ireland, especially for people that are interested in going for tech courses, IT courses. There are a lot of companies that can employ you. Okay, so yes, job opportunities are always available. They are always available. So once you're there, apply to jobs. Once you've gotten an offer into the country, apply to jobs and you'll get them. Okay, so we are coming to the end of this live. Please, just 5 more minutes if you have questions to drop before we close the live for today. As a reminder, we hold our live every Wednesday by 12 noon. Tell someone to tell someone to tell someone to tell someone to always tune in every Wednesday for our live sessions where we share updates, recent information, important information, study opportunities in countries all over the world. Okay, so for today, like for instance, for today we are diving into Europe, okay, to give you informations that are available and requirements for you to study in France, why you should study in France. Sorry, required documents for you to study in Europe, why you should study in Europe, various requirements, key things to note when study in Europe. Okay. How many hours can I work? You can work for 20 hours as a student. Okay. Another thing I need to mention in France, you can work 20 hours as a student, but once during the summer or holiday period, you can work full time. Okay. Can we self-sponsor in Ireland? Yes, please. You can self-sponsor in Ireland. Do you do proof of fund for visa? No, please. We do not do proof of fund for visa. Okay. However, still reach out to our counselors and they're going to give you further information on this. So thank you all for coming to today's live. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for tuning in. Please do not forget to send a message, send a DM if you have questions or concern about any of the Europe countries you're interested in putting an application for. We would always furnish you with information. Okay. Would always furnish you with information. Our counselors are well informed on any countries you're interested in applying to. Okay. And they will process your application for you. Okay, so in the absence of no other question, we're going to take the live to a close. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. Please do not hesitate to reach out to our counselors, reach out to send a DM and then process your application. Always send in your questions. There is no too much question. Just ask your questions and we'll respond to them. Okay. All right, so thank you all for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, how do I reach your counselors? Please send a DM, SPKC, please send a DM, okay, and someone will respond to you almost immediately. Send a DM and someone will respond to you and you'll be directed to a counselor. Or you go to our website and then click and fill in the information box there and we will take it off from there. All right, thank you all for coming. So we've come to the end of the live. Have a blessed day.